Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, and thanks for tuning in to UCCS Sports. I'm MJ Arjabandi alongside Doug Klein, broadcasting live from Mountain Lion Stadium on the University of Colorado Springs campus right here in Olympic City, USA for today's women's RMAC soccer matchup featuring the undefeated, nationally ranked #1 UCCS women's soccer team coming into today's contest 11-0, and they're going to be hosting the Grizzlies of Adams State, who come into today's contest with a record of 3-6 and an RMAC record of 1-5. Well, Doug, we got a great matchup brewing here from Olympic City, USA, as we saw the Mountain Lions extend their undefeated streak, and what a great start to the season to 11-0 just last Friday night.
Absolutely, and against Fort Lewis, a dominating 5-0 win, and I am looking so forward to today because, as we were talking about before the game, this is the perfect trap game. Adams State has a pretty good win on their resume, having beaten at the time West Texas A&M earlier in the season. You would think on paper, Adams State 3-6, the Mountain Lions 11-0. It should go all Mountain Lions on paper, but Adams State and their coach Colin Baker, they're going to have a lot to say about that as they've played teams tight all season. So we don't know what to expect, and that's good for us, so it should make for a fun afternoon.
Absolutely, and with Colorado Mines coming on the horizon soon for UCCS, certainly Sean Hudson and the Mountain Lions can't be overlooking the Grizzlies in anticipation for another nationally ranked team coming up on the schedule soon.
That's absolutely right, and we need to talk about Mines. They are right on the heels of the Mountain Lions in the RMAC standings. It's easy to talk about being undefeated. It's easy to talk about being #1 ranked nationally. But the reality is you have to win the RMAC to host the RMAC tournament, and the Mountain Lions are only 2 points ahead in the table on the Ore Diggers. And the Ore Diggers today are at Dixie State with a big game later. We're here, so going into Friday, it could be almost anything.
Well, let's give you the starting lineups for today's contest, but we got to do that quickly because the Mountain Lions just on Friday night scored their first goal 1:23 into the start of action. So let's go through the lineup for the Grizzlies to start things off. On goal, #1, Corey Ziegler. Midfielder, #6, Maya Mao. Defender, #11, Brianna Kapuski. #17, midfielder, Rachel Boyle. Defender #19, Jane Scheiss. Midfielder #20, Zoe Moses. A defender #21, Molly Heaney. A forward #24, Karina Harrison. Defender #26, Peyton Billingham. And midfielder #27, Sydney Whiteman. And a midfielder #28, Jordan Mays. Starting off for your Mountain Lions, on goal here today, a bit of a change-up here for Sean Hudson and the Mountain Lions, as Molly Swift is going to get the start, #1, also starting things game. Forward #8, Jaden Davis. Midfielder #12, Katie Pacino. Midfielder #21, Mitzi Ramirez. Forward #22, Tanner Sanders. Midfielder #25, Taylor Wilpott. And forward #27, Caitlin Hinkle.
And MJ, once again, the Mountain Lions started quickly. They had a good rush while you were giving those starting lineups, earned a corner kick right out of the gates. Couldn't connect, but so far they have all the possession in the first minute and a half inside the defensive area.
Well, that was part of the major storyline on Friday night as the Mountain Lions dominated the time of possession, and that really helped UCCS to that 5-0 victory against the Skyhawks. Goals coming from Savannah Mills, who had 2. Elisa Muir with 1. Also getting in on the action, Caitlin Hinkle had a goal along with Tanner Sanders. And Sinead Hopcroft coming in as the RMAC Player of the Week. No goals, but 2 assists. Did a great job to set up her fellow teammates, which helped UCCS get that dominating victory 5-0.
And one of the interesting things going on with today's lineup, you mentioned Sinead Hopcroft. She's going to be sitting out today's game. No specific injury, just dinged up a little bit and needing a rest as the Mountain Lions with a deep bench are getting ready for the Ore Diggers next week, also giving players who may have not had a lot of minutes, they need to refine their game as we get in toward the final 6 matches of the regular season, including today's match. So also sitting out, Kate Esterly, normally a stalwart at center back. She's going to be sitting out for her second consecutive game as she tries to rest some injuries. And here's UCCS was going to do a quick restart, but now they're going to set up a direct play. And also sitting out today, midfielder number 20, Ella Fisher. So those 3 are healthy scratches for the Mountain Lions today.
Tanner Sanders looking to get the ball back in play on the free kick off the foul. But, Doug, what's that balance got to be like for UCCS? Because certainly they need to defend their home field here tonight or here this afternoon and continue to keep that undefeated streak alive. But at the same time, they got to be thinking about the rest of the season with aspirations of hosting the RMAC tournament and possibly the South Central Regional tournament as well. So Mountain Lions with a lot on the line, but they certainly still need to get the victory here today to be in contention for any of those things.
And make no mistake, Adams State is not going to see a weaker squad on the field. And here's the second corner kick of the afternoon coming up for the Mountain Lions. And there's
a UCCS goal less than 5 minutes into the start of the first half. How about that? These Mountain Lions quick on the attack, a beautiful corner kick and a header inside, and your Mountain Lions are up 1-0.
And there was a lot of traffic around there. I think it might have been center back Katie Pacino, wearing number 12, who came into the mix in front of the net to get that in. We'll wait for the official score line.
Just as Sean Hudson drew it up. You were absolutely right, Doug. Good call. It was number 12, Katie Pacino, is going to get credit for that goal, but that was really a team effort for UCCS as there was a handful of Mountain Lions ready to strike on that one. And great corner kick and an even better finish by Pacino as the Mountain Lions off to a quick 1-0 lead.
And Tanner Sanders gets the assist on that. She took the corner, and Pacino sent it home. So a big goal for Pacino. She's getting the start as Allie Samuels has returned to the lineup this season. Healthy Pacino, who was tied for the team lead with the most field minutes last season, has not had as much playing time this year. So she was excited for her first goal of the season, as she should have been.
Well, I think our early questions were answered right there, Doug, as we were wondering just how much UCCS was looking towards their upcoming opponents and possibly overlooking these Grizzlies of Adams State, but that is certainly not the case as the Mountain Lions come out with great aggression and on the attack once again. Here's Muir trying to set things up, and she's going to earn the corner kick with that stellar play here on the near side.
And in the first 6 minutes, that will already be the third corner kick for the Mountain Lions. And this is Mitzi Ramirez coming over to take it from this side. A set play specialist, strong right leg, and can swing it in, which is why you'll see Ramirez taking the corner kicks from this side of the field.
Ramirez putting it in play, opts to send the pass over instead to Muir. Muir now sends it in, and just a little bit too high on that attempt. Doug, we talked about the other night at length the fact that these Mountain Lions started the season 10-0, now 11-0 after their victory against the Skyhawks. The last RMAC team to start a season that strong was in 2006 when the MSU Denver Roadrunners also jumped out to a 10-0 start on the season. They went on to win the national championship. So certainly Sean Hudson and the rest of these Mountain Lions hoping that history will repeat itself as they now hold their own destiny in their hands, looking to do the exact same thing as the Roadrunners in 2006.
And one of the things, I had a chance to talk to some of the players that were out stretching on the field. And there's the first opportunity for Adams State, and already in the early going, a save necessary by Molly Swift. So I'm sure that Coach Hudson not pleased with already conceding a shot on goal in the first 7 minutes, and that's a testimony to Adams State and somewhat will be expected that they're going to play the Mountain Lions tough. There's a hard tackle over there on the far side as Savannah Mills goes down.
Well, as impressive as the record is for UCCS, 11-0, so is their goal differential, outscoring their opponents 33-4 so far this season, which is almost unbelievable. The Mountain Lions have just been dominating on both ends of the field, on offense and certainly on defense. And here today it's Swift getting the start, already getting some action, but doing a great job to not allow anything into the net so far.
And one of the interesting storylines of this game in the next few weeks is the battle that's going on between the two Mountain Lion goalkeepers. Lexi Walker, with her shutout on Friday night, now has a .307 goals against average, so she leapfrogged for the moment Swift. Swift comes in with a .386 goals against average, and for both of them that would be good enough for tops in the RMAC, as you might suspect, with the first place squad and the #1 team in the nation.
Muir doing a great job to battle inside there, and she's going to draw another corner kick. That's 2 in the early going, accredited to her. Great job to earn that corner kick as Ramirez coming out to put it back in play. And how about that, Doug? What great options the Mountain Lions do have. You mentioned those goalkeeping stats right now. Both goalkeepers in the tops in terms of goals allowed this season. That's got to be a great feeling for Sean Hudson and the rest of the team, knowing that no matter who's back there, that goal is safe and secure.
On that shot for Tanner Sanders, I think her eyes got really big. She was near the top of the 18 with no defenders around her, and she saw the back of the net but leaned back a little bit too much, and that ball sailed over the crossbar. We were talking a little bit ago before the shot on goal by Adams State about some of the lineup changes and talking to those players before the game out on the field. One of the things that the coaching staff for the Mountain Lions requires, players have to earn their starting positions every single week, and that keeps everybody sharp. And one of the most noteworthy today, Taylor Wilpott, #25, gets her first start. She was genuinely excited before the match because she knows she's earned this opportunity and she wants to contribute to this team, as they all do. And also, all of the players talked about the quality locker room this year, and that's so important as that translates to play on the field and mutual support for teammates, whether you're getting the minutes or not.
Well, it's such a great strategy by head coach Sean Hudson to really make each and every player fight all throughout the week. And if they have a great outing, great practice, then they're going to come out and get the start. So that gives them that motivation to put it all out on the field each and every practice, which certainly has translated here into play as, again, Mountain Lions yet to lose this season. And it's probably because of that competitive spirit that is created during the practices before game time even begins.
That was freshman Caitlin Hinkle, who leads the team in goals scored right now. Sinead Hopcroft leads the team in total points with 6 goals and 6 assists.
Furman trying to take the 2-on-1 right now, but good defense there shown by Scheisse as she steals that one away. Not for long, though, as Muir able to gather that one back, and the Mountain Lions looking to set up their attack. Great patience being shown right here by UCCS in firm control here in the first 12 minutes of the first half. Mills with the pass, a little deep, but good job there by Sanders to track it down. And Sanders earns another corner kick. She sends that one off the back of Heaney.
And you'll see for this corner kick, a little bit of a switch up. Sanders now taking it. She has the stronger left foot, so we can expect this ball to go out toward the 6 and looking for the header.
A lot of action inside. That ball not able to find its way to the back of the net. Sanders looking to send that one in again, but that a little bit too high for any Mountain Lion to get ahead on that one.
And if fans saw that ball come right back into the field, it's because it hit the football goalpost crossbar, not the soccer goal, so considered a goal kick.
The wind starting to pick up just a little bit here at Mountain Lion Stadium, but certainly weather not going to be a factor to the extent that it was on Friday night when we watched and witnessed the temperature drop in a hurry as soon as that sun went down. But here today, beautiful blue skies in Colorado Springs and a perfect day for UCCS soccer. So far in the early going, it's been the similar story as it was on Friday, with time of possession firmly in control of UCCS. And there's a shot taken by Savannah Mills, trying to keep that hot foot going from Friday night as she put up 2 goals for UCCS. Started and finished the game strong as she scored a minute and 23 into the start of the game and scored her second goal in the 81st minute. So she really had a complete game on Friday night, picking up where she left off here today.
And speaking of Savannah Mills, you mentioned her impact on Friday night. Right now, because she was out for a month, she is playing her 26th match of her career. And I think, is that Pacino who went down hard over there? I think I saw the number 12, yep. That's Pacino, she's back up.
Good sign as she's back and at him, jogging back to her spot.
But Savannah Mills, at the moment, is third all-time in point efficiency for the Mountain Lions, as she has scored 1.12 points per every match that she's been in. Obviously, she's just midway through her sophomore season, so 2 more seasons to go, and that number will change rapidly. But that just gives you an idea of how efficient she is. And should she get 2 points tonight, at least momentarily, she would jump into the all-time lead.
Talk about an impact player. Every time she steps her foot on the field, she's making a big impact for the Mountain Lions. And I can attest to her great play and intelligent IQ on and off the field, as she was actually a student of mine last year. I'm a professor here at UCCS along with a broadcaster, and Savannah Mills, just a model student athlete. She gets it done on the field and gets it done in the classroom. And that's one of the things that UCCS really prides itself on, is the fact that our student athletes are just that. Students first, athletes next, but they perform at the highest of levels, both on and off the field, on and on the court, and in and out of the classroom.
And that's also indicated by the fact that UCCS, the school, they have been noted by the NCAA as among those top schools in the country in terms of the cumulative GPA for their athletes.
That high IQ certainly transfers to the field of play, as UCCS looking to set things up right here again, but that pass just a little bit too far ahead. Great idea by Muir, but just unable to make that connection.
Excellent idea by Muir, in fact, because she has the ability to drill the ball or keep it on the ground. She tried to give herself 2 opportunities there, sent it on the ground toward the far post, either perhaps sneaking it in or finding that runner coming on.
Here's another attempt there, and wide open net. The pass is in, and just a little wide right. Wow, that was exciting there, as there were a couple of opportunities there. Caitlin Hinkle thought she was going to get an easy shot there, but sends it inside and unable to make that connection again. But you see the Mountain Lions always on the attack.
And that is just a perfect example of the skill on the ball of these Mountain Lions. Hinkle was able to stay with it, keep through, try to head it to herself. It was going toward the goal line. She crossed it. Mills was right on in terms of the timing, just the bounce. The ball was just about 6 inches higher for both of them than they ideally needed it to make perfect contact, but an excellent combination.
A little unlucky on that last possession, but with the way in which the Mountain Lions are continuing to press and the aggressive nature, you feel like it's just a matter of time before another one gets by. Zager, who's given up one here so far to start off the first half. Grizzlies looking to put the ball back in play. There's Scheisse with the throw-in, quickly taken away by UCCS. And here's Hinkle with another shot. Breakaway, shot is up, and great job there by Ziegler to block that one. That was a beautiful attempt. Hinkle had a one-on-one opportunity and drove it straight in, but a great job by Ziegler.
One of the freshman class for the Mountain Lions. Hinkle, you saw her field IQ there. She tapped the ball to gain inside position on the defender and walk in. And if not for the save, the Mountain Lions would be up by a pair.
Well, that's a third corner kick in a row that Ramirez has elected to pass it in instead of shooting it towards the net, but Mountain Lions clearly have a game plan there, put a lot of bodies into the box, and then try to create some space on the other side of that. So far, none of those have been successful, but you can see the strategy of UCCS trying to chip away and put another one on the board soon. Action there on the far side, going to be Mountain Lion ball. There's Samuels now dishing it off to Furman as UCCS trying to utilize the entire field and really spread that ball around. That pass not quite on point, and Weideman able to take it away, but UCCS there for another quick interception and gets the ball back as Ramirez looking to find an open Mountain Lion, create some space, and drive the ball once again. Here's the push, the attack. Not quite sure what the intent on that one was, if that was a shot or if she was looking for Mills.
I think she was actually trying to cross it. Credit to the defense. They forced that turn and cross a little bit early, so I don't think that Hinkle was able to get it out toward between the 6 and the top of the 18 as she wanted. So again, good credit to the defense for taking some of the angle away.
Great job by Davis there to track that one down, steals it away, and UCCS going to set things up, sending it back deep to Molly Swift, who has a great vantage point of the entire field to help set up the attack moving forward.
And you saw there a little bit of a cross-up in the signals between Savannah Mills and Caitlin Hinkle. Mills was making the inside run, and there was clearly a seam, and Hinkle went the opposite way.
Looking to do nearly the exact same thing, but that one sent a little bit too deep, and Ziegler easily able to track that one in. So far, just great energy by the Mountain Lions, and the Grizzlies are looking to bounce back. You see some moments of great precise passing by the Grizzlies, but so far it's really been that time of possession which UCCS has dominated. But in the blink of an eye, the Grizzlies could change all that if they can just get some of their own offense going. But right now, UCCS on the attack again. Great job by Ziegler to step out deep to track that one in. Looked like the Mountain Lions were setting up something potentially dangerous for the Grizzlies.
And Tanner Sanders on that one was making the angled run. Perfect timing by her run. She stayed onside, and you're exactly right. Corey Zager, who actually played her high school soccer here in Colorado Springs, she also saw that coming and was able to get out there before Sanders could get to it.
Yeah, if Zager wouldn't have made such an aggressive move there, we might be looking at a 2-0 lead for UCCS, as that was a great attack and great opportunity, but just that much better defense shown by Corey Zager.
And for the Grizzlies, one of the things that they need to do is they have to get some possession back just so that they can regain that ability to be on the front foot. It is much tougher to constantly be going backwards. And right now, the way this game is shaping up, even though it's only 1-0, if UCCS is able to maintain this level of possession, by the time we get into the second half, you're going to start seeing the fatigue show up on the Grizzlies. And so, again, they need to maintain some possession just to get their wind back and establish some level of momentum moving forward.
Well, that was one of the big stories on Friday night's game against the Skyhawks, as the Mountain Lions dominated time of possession 65% of the time through the first half, and that seems to be similar here tonight, if not even a greater percentage for UCCS, as this really is the longest time the ball has been on the other side of the field in this first half, and right on point, the Mountain Lions looking to bring it back to the other side. Hinkle now looking to move towards the middle of the field, dishes it off, and UCCS now elects to utilize this near side to set things up. Here's Muir. Muir's going to send that one in, and that's another goal by UCCS. What a great connection on that one. The Mountain Lions, beautiful execution, and now they're up 2-0.
And we have to watch this. Hinkle, perfect timing to make that connection, but she had contact with the keeper, and she is down on the field. That is her team-leading 8th goal of the season, but one of the issues of a game like this is you want to leave these games healthy. Trainer coming onto the field to take a look at Hinkle. Muir will get the assist on that. But Caitlin Hinkle is the bigger story right now, as she is down after that collision. As far as I can tell, MJ, the trainer is working on the freshman's midsection. You always wonder about a knee, possible head contact and concussion, but it looks more like this is maybe in the hip area, midsection. Maybe she had contact right in the gut, wind knocked out of her, so we'll see what's going to happen, obviously, after she gets back up. For Hinkle, it is worth mentioning during this break that 8th goal gives her 16 points. I think she has 2 assists also as a freshman. So she is already moving up the ranks all time for freshman points. It's pretty impressive, as we're just over the halfway point in the season.
That's one of those things when you look at the roster, you see a lot of freshmen on the team, which really bodes well for the future of this Mountain Lions squad. But one of the brightest stars on the team right now, a little shaken up and needing some help to get to her feet, is Caitlin Hinkle, after scoring an amazing goal in dramatic fashion. A beautiful setup by Elisa Muir here on the near side. The pass was right on point, and Caitlin Hinkle sent it in for another UCCS goal, but right now needing some assistance off the field. And that's kind of the big question mark coming into a game like this, Doug, is how much do you play your starters, and keep them out on the field for a game that, on paper, the Mountain Lions have a distinct advantage. You got to come out and get the win. But right now, UCCS up 2-0 and a big injury. I wonder if that's going to factor into the strategy for Sean Hudson and the substitutions moving forward throughout this game.
And we'll try to get an update between games. Again, as it looked from our vantage point, I'm thinking the midsection was worked on. Hip injuries are always an issue in this sport. I think her knee is fine based on what was working on, but Tori Madu, last year's third leading scorer for the Mountain Lions, she had to have the hip labrum surgery, and I certainly don't want to forecast or project that that's what's going on with Hinkle, but just to illustrate that hip injuries are unfortunately a part of this sport.
Another pass inside for UCCS, and good job there by Zager to knock that one out.
And Taya Schupert made that cross. Schupert has come on for the injured Hinkle.
That's a shot high and in, right on point. There's Sandoval. What a shot over the head of Zager, and the Mountain Lions now extend their lead to 3-0. That's 2 goals in less than 2 minutes of play, and a great job by Sandoval stepping in and blasting that one over the head of Zager.
And Schupert should be credited with the assist on that goal as she dropped it back to the hard-charging Sandoval.
How about that, Doug? It's really that old adage of next player up. And for this UCCS squad, they are awfully deep. No matter who they send in, it's a potential threat. And we just saw it there as Sandoval coming into the fray and getting a goal on the board for the Mountain Lions.
After the goal, also coming on to the field, some more subs. Kendall Stevenson is now on for the Mountain Lions.
UCCS never satisfied no matter how big the lead is, up 3-0 here with 25 minutes that have gone by in the first half. And UCCS looking to continue the pressure and continue to press. That pass sent deep to the far side and going to be sent out of play. Should be a UCCS throw-in.
And UCCS making more substitutions, so they're going to be very close to having completely subbed out the starting 10. And in the NCAA, you are not permitted any re-entry in the first half. So this group of players will finish out the half. And I'm just doing a quick scan. I do think all starters are now out. So it's a new 10 on the field from the starting lineup. That's a handball on Schupert. She knew it.
Well, great opportunity for some of the Mountain Lion reserves here to get some experience on the field in a good game. And the Grizzlies still looking to bounce back, so I'm sure you're going to get the most out of Adams State right now. But for UCCS to be able to rest some of their starters and at the same time get some very valuable in-game experience for some of the other players, that's a win-win for UCCS at the moment. And I'm sure Sean Hudson told her team as she's sending them in, play like it's 0-0. Don't play as though you're up. Play like you want to come away with a win. And right now you're entering the game not scoring so far.
And one thing to watch as we move into these final now 18 minutes of play is the play of the back line for the Mountain Lions. All subs, all clearly capable, but the Mountain Lions are playing a 3-4-3 today, and with only 3 players on the back line, that leaves more space. So if they haven't played a lot of minutes and they haven't played together, breakdowns are more of a possibility, and this is a good opportunity for them to work together in this 3-4-3 formation, again, as they get ready after today to go into the final 5 matches of the regular season.
And for Adams State, I'm sure they're thinking of it in different terms. They're trying to bounce back and get some goals on the scoreboard here, and this presents a great opportunity for them going against some of the Mountain Lion reserves at the moment, but so far UCCS still in firm control of possession. 16 minutes remaining, just under 17 minutes I should say, in the first half. There's an attempt deep by Jungi, but unable to send that one in strong, and a very easy pickup by Zager. Zager looking to send this one deep and help her Grizzlies set up something of their own, but the Mountain Lions are there for the takeaway. On that far side is Lancaster. Lancaster sending it back. Mountain Lions now looking to utilize more of that field, trying to create some opportunities for penetration. And here's an opportunity. Great job by Zager to come out to snag that one. Otherwise, that might have been more trouble for Adams State. Looks like that was Kinsey in on the action, trying to get in on the stat book, but Ziegler able to swipe that one up.
I was looking
on the far side.
Oh, sorry.
That's Garola now trying to set things up for UCCS. Sent out of play, going to be a Mountain Lion throw-in.
I was looking across the way. Hinkle, since she went out, was on the back of the cart being attended to by the trainer just about a minute ago. She did get off the cart, still walking gingerly, so we'll see if she's able to come back in the second half, and we certainly hope so. That would be an indication that she's fine.
A lot of contact on that one. Looks like there's another Mountain Lion down.
And once again, exactly what we talked about. You want to get out of this game healthy. Is this going to be a discussion or a card?
Looks like it is going to be a card against Brenna Capuzzi. Yellow card assessed to her after the official said that was a little too much contact on that last play. So our first yellow card of the outing going to go to Brenna Capuzzi. Lowe then putting it back into play. And UCCS on the attack once again, just under 15 minutes remaining in the first half. Mountain Lions are up 3-0. A lot of bodies in on the action there, and UCCS unable to get a shot off, but they'll be happy to send it back to reset the offense.
And one of the things that you can see Adams State now really starting to do, since they're already down by 3, is they're really packing it in on defense. So for UCCS, the way to exploit that is they need to go weak side as the defenders are collapsing ball side. Then that means wherever the weak side is, that should be open for Mountain Lions to come into space.
Swift looking to set things up for UCCS on the other side of the field. That pass not quite on point, but the Mountain Lions able to track it back in. A lot of green there. Good defensive play, but UCCS able to regain possession still. And here's the attack coming in. And that pass went beyond the field of play. And looks like it's going to be the Grizzlies' ball.
And they're calling a goal kick, and you could see Estrada, who made that turn, talking to the assistant referee on the far side, pleading her case. She thought it was deflected off of her cross and was trying to plead for the corner kick, but it is a goal kick as the Grizzlies put it back in play.
Well, you certainly can see a difference in play since the Mountain Lions made the mass substitution that they did a little while ago. Grizzlies have had more opportunities to set some things up here, but so far have been unsuccessful in doing so.
You see that play, Swift had to come out but didn't need to, as the reason there was some danger in there is because the play was offside.
What a great pass there to Sandoval, but Sandoval has that one taken away. That was a beautifully placed pass by Kinsey, but Sandoval just unable to track that one in. And now the Grizzlies looking to set some things up here. This is one of their better opportunities. That shot is up, but no good by Cirillo, who just came into the action not too long ago and looking to make an immediate impact. One of the better opportunities for Adams State so far in the first half.
And one of the things for young defenders that might be watching this match and hoping to play college soccer someday was the fact that the UCCS defense on that one was very patient and just took the angle away. And then what looked to be momentarily like a breakaway suddenly turned into an opportunity, but one that was easily smothered by Molly Swift and the UCCS defense.
There's a deep pass, unable to make the connection though to Schubert. And the Grizzlies looking to take their time to set something up here with just under 11 minutes remaining in the first half.
Offside again.
Going to be Mountain Lion ball as Kinsey resets the offense for UCCS. Just playing a little pass right there. Waiting for an opening. There's Sandoval with the pass. There's Lancaster looking to put a move on. She's down now, though. Good recovery by her.
That happened right in front of us. You could see Lancaster looking at the official. Lancaster clearly had her foot taken out from under her, but it was inside the box. And I believe she thinks she had earned a penalty kick for her squad. But with a 3-0 lead, the referee did not concede the foul.
Yeah, that's a tough call to make inside the box because that really could change the entire complexion of any game. Mountain Lions are up 3-0 right now, but to give away an easy attempt like that is tough for the officials to make that call.
Jungi with a nice shot there. She was able to bring it down about hip high and drill it for the one hopper, but it was smothered by Zager.
Good anticipation there by Zager to not allow that one to get past her.
For Caitlin Hinkle on that goal that she scored, the Mountain Lions second, with her 18 points now on the season as a freshman, still with 5 matches plus playoffs to go. She is now tied for second all-time in Mountain Lion history for points in a season by a freshman with 18. She tied Savannah Mills. Mills had 18 points last season, her freshman year. And in first place is junior, Tara Patterson, who is out all season with an injury. Patterson scored 22 points in her freshman season for the Mountain Lions.
And I'm sure those are all records that Sean Hudson and the rest of the team are more than happy to continue to see broken by their incoming freshman class each and every season, because that really demonstrates the top recruitments that Sean Hudson is getting into the program. Here's a good opportunity here for the Grizzlies. A 2-on-1, great defense by UCCS, not allowing any opportunities to develop, but it looked like for a moment that Adams State was certainly on the attack with something potentially promising.
And that was Naomi Garola who really broke that up, getting ball side, goal side. That was the classic example of that, being able to front the attacker whom she had responsibility for, and now UCCS able to counter.
Great pass there. Thought for a moment that she might have been offside, but great job. And great composure there by Lancaster to not get too far deep. And now the Mountain Lions with another opportunity here, a corner kick coming up.
Schubert heading over to take this corner. And you see Garola charging.
And there's a shot from deep, but that's going to be wide right. You see the strategy there for UCCS on those corner kicks, trying to get a quick pass and a much easier attempt from deep. But so far they've been unsuccessful with those corner kick attempts.
And that was a classic example of the Grizzlies packing it in. They had 8 players in the box defending, and so that left the right flank wide open. Garola charging up from her defensive position, calling for the ball, had a lot of space, and at least gave a good scoring opportunity for the Mountain Lions.
Swift coming out of the box to make connection there. That one's going to sail out of play, but it'll be a Mountain Lion throw-in. Swift having a lot of action here in the first half, but not much of it have been saves for her. She's stepped out of that box. It's getting a lot more action than I would have anticipated here so far today, but all for the right reasons.
And you could see she was trying to go over the top and actually earn an assist, which is always fun for goalkeepers. They don't get involved in the scoring line that often.
Scheisse with the throw-in. Weideman sending that one deep to the far side.
That was a good defensive switch by the Mountain Lions. The bounce of the ball was kind of going against them, and you could see a switch by the defenders. The first one that was beat came inside to protect the area, and Garola went outside to follow the ball. So smart defending there by the Mountain Lions.
As soon as Adams State looks to get some offense going of their own, the Mountain Lions regain possession and send it to the other side of the field. I think UCCS is more than content to chip away at this 4.5 minutes remaining in the first half to go into the halftime with their 3-0 lead as it currently stands. Let's see how aggressive they get here, as they do have an opportunity. Good defense by the Grizzlies, but it's going to remain Mountain Lion ball.
That was just a miss hit by Garola off of the throw, so possession turns over to the Grizzlies.
Well, Adams State still with just under 4 minutes remaining here in the first half, trying to get on the board. And if they can narrow the Mountain Lion lead and get a goal up, that might change the strategy for UCCS and Sean Hudson into the second half. being up 3-0, certainly a lot more comfortable than a 3-1 lead as the Grizzlies hope to cut in to that deficit.
Exactly right. This is almost the identical discussion that we had Friday night in terms of clearly Mountain Lions in control so far, but if they would concede something late, then you see a quick momentum switch. So once again, the Mountain Lions need to stay on the front foot in these final 3 minutes of half number one.
Well, and again, I'm sure Sean Hudson and the rest of the team, they don't want to overlook the Grizzlies and the game that they're in right now, but they know they got some tough opponents coming up. Colorado School of Mines on the schedule coming soon. Nationally ranked number 16 in the nation. Mount Lions still number 1, but that's going to be a tough matchup. Arguably the toughest matchup of the season. So if they can save some of their key players and keep them with great energy going into next weekend, I'm sure they'd love to do that. But not at the expense of losing this game. Right now, they're in firm control, 3-0.
And Mines, incidentally, I think we mentioned it earlier, they have a tough match on the road in St. George, Utah this afternoon. They're going to be playing Dixie State because we have a women's men's doubleheader here. UCCS women had just about the earliest start in the league, so we won't know those results until sometime during the men's game, whether Mines was able to keep pace with the Mountain Lions. If the Mountain Lions should falter and concede a point or something here, that would be an opening for the Ore Diggers.
Another opportunity for UCCS, but Zager is there for an easy save. With 90 seconds remaining in the first half, Mountain Lions still lead 3-0.
Plenty of time with 70 seconds left. The Grizzlies get the free kick from midfield, so they'll be able to gain some space and get their troops down. And you can see they only have the kicker plus one player back. And given the fact that they had a lot of players forward, honestly, that probably wasn't the quality of direct kick they were hoping for. It turned into an easy one-hopper to Swift.
.20 seconds now remaining here in the first half. UCCS, I think, more than content to just eat away at the remaining time to head into the half up 3-0. And there you have it, folks. That's the end of the first half. UCCS leads 3-0 after another dominating performance. And that time of possession certainly got to be the story here in that first half, as UCCS absolutely dominated time of possession, shots on goals, and of course goals, as they currently lead 3-0 going in to the half. Doug, what to you really was the big story and the way in which the Mountain Lions were able to gain such a dominant lead here in the first half?
One of the biggest things is it was pretty obvious there was no letdown. And we talked about this at the start of the broadcast, the potential of this being a trap game. The players were aware of it. A couple of players, their first start of the season. And basically we saw the same Mountain Lions squad that we've seen in the last few games. So they were able to come right out, maintain possession, and then that forced Adams State to pack it in on defense. So Adams State really didn't get a whole lot of counterattack opportunities.
Yeah, so that really helped the Mountain Lions out to that 3-0 lead. They certainly have come into this game knowing the importance of another victory, and they're not taking the Grizzlies lightly by any means. So we're going to step aside for the halftime. We'll be back with the second half shortly.
The mountain lion is one of the strongest members of the feline family. The average mountain lion lives 5 times a day and consumes up to 3 times its weight in protein. It shares many characteristics with its domestic counterparts, the good and the bad. UCCS. Find your inner mountain lion. The majestic mountain lion, the perfect combination of size and deadly agility. This big cat is capable of speeds of 40 to 50 miles per hour, when properly motivated. UCCS. Find your inner mountain lion.
I think one of the things that I was really surprised by at UCCS was that even though there are 11,000 students here, it feels like a small campus. So get to know the faculty really well.
You always get that one-on-one connection to your professor, you get to know your classmates, and it's just a really good learning environment.
The campus is amazing. Just getting to walk from building to building and see the view is really spectacular.
There's tons of support for students on campus. It comes from Excel centers and tutoring labs that they have.
There's always a lot of stuff to do on campus for active students like myself. I'm in a sorority on campus and I love all the friends I've made there.
What I like most about UCCS is that we have a real desire to grow and stretch ourselves and our push to become something greater.
When I was growing up, I always loved going outdoors, whether it was for biking, camping, skiing, And when I started looking for colleges, I naturally gravitated towards UCCS because it's in an area where all of those activities are still very easily accessible. A lot of my classes this semester are held in Dwyer Hall, and I really enjoy studying in there because the way the building is built, it allows a lot of natural lighting to flow in, which makes studying a lot easier. Another thing I really love about this campus is that I can go pretty much anywhere and get an awesome view. I never feel like I'm too far from an adventure. Even within 30 minutes of campus, you've got places like Red Rocks where you can go out and take a mountain bike. You can go out there for hours and never come across the same trail twice. After looking at other colleges near mountains all across the country, I'm really glad I decided to go to UCCS because I realized how good I have it here.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, and thanks again for tuning in to UCCS Sports. Here we are at the start of the second half, and the UCCS women's soccer team, the number 1 ranked team in the nation, undefeated 11-0, is picking up right where they left off, up 3-0 against Adams State. And Doug, a couple of key stories to talk about from that first half. Time of possession, the Mountain Lions dominated that with the ball 66% of the time, but that also led to quite a few shots for the Mountain Lions that the Grizzlies were unable to keep up with.
Absolutely true. As a coach at a competitive level, one of the stats that I always like to talk about was the shots to shot conceded ratio. And coming into this match, the Mountain Lions had a positive ratio of 2.6 shots taken for every 1 conceded. Meanwhile, the Grizzlies came in at a negative 3.2, and in the first half, it was all one-sided in Mountain Lions' favor. The Mountain Lions outshot the Grizzlies, shot attempts 20-2. So they had an advantage, a tenfold advantage.
That is absolutely remarkable. And getting in on the action for UCCS, Katie Pacino with one of the goals, Caitlin Hinkle with another goal, and that one was a beautiful goal, but unfortunately led to Hinkle being unable to return afterwards as she went down with an injury. We'll come back to that story in just a few moments, but stepping in and making an immediate impact was Nicolette Sandoval, who also got a goal for UCCS in lieu of Hinkle's substitution. So, Doug, I know you talked with the coaching staff during the first half. What can you tell us about the update for one Caitlin Hinkle?
Well, she has gone to the locker room, unlikely to return, and our observation while she was being treated appears to be accurate. It is some type of midsection injury, not a leg, not a knee, but we'll have to take a look as we get into the early part of the week as to exactly what's going on and what her fortunes are as the team gets ready to make their final road trip of the regular season next week.
It's unbelievable, Doug. We're already talking about the final road trip of the season. UCCS is going to travel on Friday night to play Colorado School of Mines, another nationally ranked team, and then they're going to finish up the weekend, their final road game, and certainly Sean Hudson is hoping that it is the final road game for quite some time as they play Colorado Christian next Sunday.
That's exactly right. When you talk about the final road game or the hope, the way the RMAC works as well as the NCAA in the regional setup is if the Mountain Lions should finish in first place in the RMAC, they will get the right to host the RMAC tournament throughout. And then if they maintain the number 1 ranking, or certainly the highest ranking nationally out of the South Central region, then they would also be on point to host the first and second rounds of the NCAA tournament. The Super Regional this year, and for those unfamiliar with how the NCAA tournament is set up, the South Central region plays the West region in the quarterfinal setup, and that's the Super Regional, and this year it is the West's turn to host the Super Regional. That was
Shot
Jaden Davis.
taken on the far side. There's Jaden Davis with a quick UCCS goal. That was sent from deep. Slow developing play, but a laser inside, and the Mountain Lions extend their lead here in the first few minutes of the second half, now up 4-0.
And that was a sharp angle shot. Another of the freshmen on this squad, Jaden Davis, finding that far side netting.
We talked about that great combination for UCCS. Quite a few freshmen on the team, some sophomores, a few juniors, and just a couple of seniors. So you know that this team is looking promising for seasons to come. And as quickly as the action resumes, the Mountain Lions found themselves in another position there down low. Looked like that might have been Savannah Mills down low with an opportunity. Trying to get confirmation of that. It certainly looks like she had an opportunity, but what's the call, Doug? What do you see? Is that going to be
I thought so. I thought the foul was inside the box. The clock
free
didn't
kick
stop
coming?
as it should have. It is a PK. Savannah Mills knocked down in the box, earned the PK. Tanner Sanders to take the PK,
Penalty
and
kick
she scores.
is up, and Sanders knocks it down. How about that, Doug? Another goal. UCCS scoring 2 goals in less than a minute. Taken off the clock. We're less than 5 minutes into the second half, and UCCS has put 2 more on the board.
That's exactly right. If you ever wonder about the potential for a letdown, not on this squad. At halftime, the coaching staff was largely huddled together, and they were working on starters and their sub-rotations for the half. Meanwhile, a solid 30 yards away from the coaching staff, the entire team was huddled, and injured captain Tara Patterson was leading the discussion, and the entire team was focused on trying to fix the things that they felt they needed to focus on after a 3-0 dominating first half.
That's the competitive spirit of this UCCS team, and that's what's helped them to get to number 1 in the nation. They're not satisfied being up 3-0 at the end of a half. So you see some strategy being implemented here and an aggressive start to half number 2. That was a beautiful job talking about that previous play for Savannah Mills getting inside, drawing the foul. And then that was an easy kick by Tanner Sanders to finish things up for the 5th goal of the game.
And this UCCS foul just outside the penalty area gives the Grizzlies their best opportunity in terms of the angle of the shot.
And that one is knocked in. Great job by Zoe Moses. Found herself at the right place at the right time. Gets the bounce back and sends that one in. That was a chip shot from her.
And that should be a double assist, actually, because the original shot just went outside the far post, and then it was dropped back, and Moses put it away with no defenders in between. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see a double assist on that one. And we were just talking about what a dangerous spot that direct kick was coming from, and it turns into a goal for Adams State.
Beautifully executed, I should say, by Adams State, who got on the board here now. 5-1, the Mountain Lions lead, but the Grizzlies looking to build on that momentum and put another couple of goals on the board to get back into this game.
And MJ, if I would have told you at halftime that we're going to see 3 goals in the first 5 minutes, would you have believed it?
I don't know if I would have believed it, but I'm sure glad to have seen it. A lot of action here to start off the second half, and I'm sure the Grizzlies got to be feeling a little bit better about things. They're on a 1-0 run right now, and I'm sure that's got to feel a little bit better than when the Mountain Lions were on a 5-0 run just a few minutes ago.
Nice little defending there by the Grizzlies to prevent a wide open shot by the Mountain Lions.
Savannah Mills with another shot, that one just over and to the right side, bouncing off of the goalpost. Good attempt by her. Good idea to try to send it over the head of Zager. Just couldn't quite find the back of the net that time.
And even with 5 goals on the afternoon, Savannah Mills still looking for her first point of the match. She's been in the mix quite often, but hasn't been quite able to connect on either the assist or a goal.
Well, it's not going to go into the stat sheet, but that last goal from UCCS was certainly set up by the stellar play of Savannah Mills down low as she drew the foul in the box, which allowed Sanders to finish off that play. And the Grizzlies now looking to keep that momentum that they built going. Billingham puts it back into play. Nice dish off over there to Barone. Now in the middle of the field Grizzlies looking to set up their attack, but taken away by UCCS.
And here's a case where the UCCS backline pushed up a little bit too far, so that just left Allie Samuels alone to defend one-on-one, and she did a fine job forcing the angle wide so that Swift was able to clean that up.
We were also talking, Doug, during that half whether or not Swift would come back out at goal, or if Sean Hudson might send in Lexi Walker to finish off the game. But indeed, it's going to be Molly Swift who got the start, who's going to look to finish this one up. She has given up one goal here today, but that's a rarity this season from her.
It is indeed a rarity, and I'm sure she's not pleased. Not really a lot she could have done on that goal, but nonetheless, that was only for her the fourth goal that she's allowed all season, and in fact, only 5 goals have been allowed all season by the Mountain Lions.
Which is absolutely remarkable when we look at that goal differential on the season. As of right now, the Mountain Lions are outscoring their opponents 38-5 this season, which is just unbelievable. Getting it done on both ends, defensively and offensively, and looking to add to their 5-1 lead right here.
The Grizzlies have returned the favor. UCCS, a great angle on the direct kick. And Sanders put that on goal, and fortunately, the defense was positioned smartly along the goal line. That was actually headed into the net. The goalkeeper was playing far side, and one of her midfielders, most likely, was on the post and cleared that out.
Yeah, that was a great job by Rachel Boyle to get ahead on that one, as Sanders was sending that one into the net. So great defensive job there by Boyle. Mount Lions had a corner kick, but unable to get another goal or an even attempt on that one. But again, in firm control with possession. They're going to send that one out of play, though. Going to be a goal kick coming up for Zager.
We were talking a little bit earlier about the schedule and the fact that the Mountain Lions on the road for the final time next weekend for a pair of matches, and then they're going to be coming back home for the final 3 matches here on Mountain Lions Stadium turf.
And we'll be back for the final game of the season on November 3rd right here with UCCS Sports, broadcasting that one live for the regular season finale, but certainly that will not be the final game of the season for UCCS, as they are indeed playoff bound. But even more than just making a playoff push, they're looking to host a couple of rounds of the tournament. They would love for the NCAA National Tournament to run right through UCCS, at the very least to host the RMAC Championships.
And MJ, on that rush, you saw the Grizzlies having to focus so much on defense. They had 1 attacker, and there were 5 white jerseys back for the Mountain Lions. There was no way that one was going to get through for any danger.
Yeah, I don't care who you are. It's awfully difficult to go 1-on-5 against any team, especially the caliber of these Mountain Lions. Kinsey looking to throw this one back in play, trying to connect with Mills. Mills does a stellar job there to keep possession. Looked like she was heading out of bounds, but keeps it alive. Sends that one deep, and that's going to be Zager there to retrieve that one. There's Mills coming right up and taking that away. Looked like that was a pass inside. That cross unable to connect with Schubert. Great idea by Savannah Mills, just unable to make the connection.
And that's a somewhat classic play by the sophomore. She's very aggressive, forces the mistake by challenging the defender and then was able to pick it up and maintain control off of the turnover. And I don't think she got the quality of contact that she wanted. Not really sure whether she was going for the shot or the cross. But regardless, anytime Savannah Mills is in the mix, it creates a lot of disruption for the opposition.
And look at the speed there being demonstrated by Davis. Davis doing a nice job to maintain possession. Really turned on the jets to track that one down. Kinsey now going to put it back in play.
And MJ, you were talking a little bit about the schedule coming up. If fans are looking to be in the Colorado Springs area or are local, one date to put on your calendar, which should be a fun evening, is November 1st. It's a men-women's doubleheader, and that'll be senior night for both squads. So a lot of excitement on the field.
Another shot there, and that one just far to the left. Looks like that was last touch, though, by Zager, which will give UCCS a corner kick.
And much like we saw in the first half, Mitzi Ramirez walking over to take the corner. And we'll see if UCCS goes with a more traditional kick or takes advantage of all the space that the Grizzlies are giving and choose to go short.
Ramirez now putting it back in play. Corner kick is up. Batted away, though. Good defense there by the Grizzlies. UCCS still trying to get possession, though. Trying to create another opportunity. A lot of contact there. And the officials going to have to step in that time as a lot of contact. Jaden Davis, though, not shying away from it. If anything, possibly initiating some of that. I think a nice conversation right now is being had where the officials are letting everybody know that it is Officials Appreciation Week.
I'm sure that's exactly what was going on.
That's the conversation, right, Doug? Always.
Yeah,
and Davis was just saying, I'm sorry, you're right.
Most likely asking where they could send the box of chocolates. But in reality, for the fans, what's going on here? UCCS wanted another call inside the box. They didn't get it. The physical play maintained. Jaden Davis was key for the Mountain Lions in terms of pleading the case, and then there was a lot of discussion. Then the Mountain Lions put the ball back in play too quickly. They needed to wait for the referee's whistle, and now here we're finally ready to get back underway.
Ramirez sends this one in deep. Unsuccessful on that attempt, though.
And once again, Zager relying on her midfielders to come across and clear it out.
Zager's getting a lot of help in the box, and I'm sure she's quite pleased with that because she's having a tough outing here today as the Mountain Lions continuing to pressure and press. Very aggressive through the start of the second half. 15 minutes have gone by in half number 2, and we've seen 3 goals put up in just the first few minutes, but things have quieted down in recent time.
And
say
the
quieted
fans
down,
are
it's quieted on the field, but the stands are not so quiet as the fans are certainly hooping and hollering, and they're into this, which is great for both sides.
And this is a gorgeous afternoon for doubleheader soccer, and walking in front of the stands at halftime, they are nearly full today.
And what an opportunity here, a wide open net. Cirillo unable to connect, though. That was very risky by Swift as she was way outside of the box and almost led to another Grizzlies goal. Cirillo just unable to make the contact that she was hoping for. If she could have just lobbed that one on point, that would have been an easy goal for her.
And you'll
Very
see what
risky play
Swift
by
did.
Swift.
Once Swift realized that she was way out of position, she didn't give up. She didn't just stop and be in no man's land. She then turned into a defender as opposed to a goalkeeper, and she took just enough of an angle away that it forced a lower quality shot, and that's why there is still just one goal on the board for the Grizzlies.
Yeah, she was definitely caught out of position, but did a great job to recover and at least make that shot a little bit more difficult and challenging than it otherwise could have been. UCCS taking their time here, trying to set up the attack. Battle down low. That one's going to be sent out of play. Mountain Lion throw in. Passes up and back out.
Once again, the physical play really starting to pick up. This is just an observation. Obviously, I'm not 100% certain, but it seems like since that PK was called, there's somewhat of a reluctance to call another one, and the players can sense what they're allowed to get away with, so now they're picking up the physical contact, and there's been quite a lot of it. Ramirez set to take another corner. This time it goes short.
Shot from deep over the goal. Good idea there, but just a little bit too much on that attempt. I'm sure that the UCCS Mountain Lions are absolutely happy to play this physical style at the moment. That really plays into their wheelhouse. They're a very aggressive team by nature, so they don't mind the physicality. Right now, they are benefited from it, still up 5-1 with just over 26 minutes remaining.
And you're exactly right. The UCCS will not back down from physical play. Again, now at the point in the game, you just want to walk out of this match healthy as you get ready to head up to Golden next week.
Well, I think that's the fine line that they need to find at the moment, because they're up by 4 goals with just under 26 minutes remaining. The game is firmly in hand for them, so the last thing they want to do is risk an injury to any of their players, let alone a key player, as we did see Hinkle go down in the first half, yet to return. And UCCS stealing that one away. Kinsey really battling for possession and gets knocked down as a result by Capuzzi. A lot of talking right now on the field as Ramirez not happy about the way in which Capuzzi knocked down Kinsey after that play was over. Things are getting a little chippy on the field at the moment. Ramirez getting a talking to. I think the official's thinking about a card, but looks like he's going to keep it in his pocket.
And what happened on this play to generate this scrum? Allie Samuels stumbled. She was momentarily beat. Jade Kinsey did a spectacular job coming back to recover and actually created the turnover. And then Kinsey was knocked down in a reckless manner, which is what yielded the card. And Mitzi Ramirez came over defending her teammates and started jawing a bit. So Ramirez got the discussion and not a card. But meanwhile, the card was earned based on the retaliation after Jade Kinsey's spectacular recovery and steal.
I think that was more out of frustration than anything else, because Kinsey did a great job to recover and certainly won that one-on-one battle in that last play. But we're back under action here. Back underway, and the Mountain Lions continue to lead 5-1 with about 25 minutes remaining in regulation. See if the Grizzlies can utilize some of that anger or frustration in a more positive way to get another goal in the back of the net and cut into this Mountain Lion lead.
And smart play back there by Allie Samuels. She saw the ball was rotating out, We're at the point of time. Clock running is a good thing for the Mountain Lions. She just let it roll over the goal line. And I'm not sure how much chatter our viewers are able to pick up from the stands, but in our position, we are closest to the side of the stands with the Grizzly fans. And they are starting to share some of the frustration of the team that they support.
And it was about this time in the first half that we saw the Mountain Lions make some mass substitutions to clear out all their starters. Looks like they're slowly starting to do that here in this half as well, but not willing to let off the gas right now as UCCS trying to add to their 4-goal lead right now. Mountain Lions do such a great job of utilizing the entire field, stretching the ball from side to side, looking for an opening and any room for penetration. Right now getting Swift in on the action.
And you can see one of the things that the Mountain Lions are doing on defense. Because Adams State is packing it in, then they have so many numbers down low that Allie Samuels is all alone on the back line. UCCS is pushing up the other 9 field players. And once again, a hard tackle. This time Stevenson goes down. Clock stopped, and I think we're going to see another card.
Yeah, the official deemed that one to be quite a bit of contact. Stoppage of play at the moment, as the official checking in on the health right now and making sure everything is okay. But another Mountain Lion slow to get back up to her feet. Stevenson quite shaken up after that last play.
And I think the way teammates immediately responded, I wouldn't be surprised if maybe a bloody nose because of the way Stevenson is bent over.
Certainly a card is coming up. The official right now.
I didn't actually see him issue it. I know he reached forward. He just wrote something down. So
he took a note. Maybe there is no card.
Yeah. I
thought there was a card coming up.
Well, I was watching Stevenson walk off, so I'm not sure if he ever actually issued it. I'm sure our replay would definitely show. But regardless, there's been discussion, and the physical play continues.
So no card, just a hard foul and a free kick coming up for UCCS. A lot of deception there. And that one is up and in over the outstretched hands of Zager. What execution. A couple of fakes, and then the trigger is pulled, and UCCS sends another one in, now up 6-1.
And I'm sure Mitzi Ramirez is feeling great. She was involved in that scrum on the defensive end of the field just a couple of minutes ago. As we've talked about repeatedly, she is a set play specialist for this squad, and she gets in the direct kick for the 6th score of the afternoon.
What finesse shown by UCCS there. An obviously designed attack there out of the free kick. Couple of fakes, and then Ramirez comes in and blasts one over the head of Zager. Looked like Zager had a shot for the save, but it just went a little too far beyond her reach into the back corner of the net. What a beautifully placed kick by Mitzi Ramirez. And now the Mountain Lions up 6-1 with just over 22 minutes remaining in regulation.
Now Samuels and Swift just playing A little bit of back and forth until Adams State steps up and puts some pressure on. This kills time, also slows down the game and maybe takes some of the frustration out of the match. We'll be watching Adams State closely. That sixth goal may have deflated them a bit, and they may start backing off. We'll see how these final 21 and a half minutes go.
Well, Doug, from a coaching perspective, do you keep the rest of the Mountain Lions on the field right now, or do you start making some more mass substitutions to keep those legs fresh for next week, or do you continue to pile on and add to the 5-goal lead that you currently have?
I think when you have a deep roster, as the Mountain Lions have, you just keep doing what you've been doing. You play everyone. You take advantage of the fact that you get one re-entry in the second half, and you just set up different combinations. So you likely would not have all of your starters out there at the same time, but you're going to rotate everybody in for maybe at least another 10 minutes of play and just space it out and set up your various combinations.
I'm sure the last thing that head coach Sean Hudson or any Mountain Lion would like to see is another Mountain Lion go down with injury. Very physical play here in the second half. Grizzlies playing for pride at the moment, trying to get another goal on the board and respond to the attacking nature of UCCS. Great footwork there shown by Davis. Davis sends that one deep. Nice sliding tackle. And a battle. Again, hear a lot of chirping from the stands right now.
Well, and what the Mountain Lions were pleading for. Oh,
that was way after the whistle. After the play, ball
this should be a red card.
In action right now. You never want to see something like that. That was absolutely out of frustration. And the official is indeed issuing a red card as a result of that.
So she will have to sit out the rest of this game, leave the field, and she will be unable to play in the next Adams State match.
That red card going to be assessed to Peyton Billingham. Extreme contact after the play was over. The ball was on the far end of the field, and certainly don't like seeing anything like that. It's a dangerous play and not really needed during our contest now or in any game. So the Adams State Grizzlies down 6-1 and now down a player for the remainder of the 20 minutes that we have left.
And MJ, the Adams State player getting ready to put the ball into play. For those not terribly familiar with the sport, the dead ball had already been called. It was going to be a direct kick for Adams State. So the red card offense happened after the dead ball determination. So it continues as called. But the player putting it back into play was talking to the assistant referee. And the assistant referee described what generated the red card while the center referee was over talking to the Adams State bench. Candidly, there was no discussion on that one. That was as obvious of a violent conduct call as you'll see.
And great job by our crew to not miss a single second of that action. We were not in play at the moment, but a fantastic job by the broadcasting crew to get every single thing that went down there.
So for the remaining 19 minutes of this match, UCCS already up 6-1, and they now have the player advantage as they have 10 field players to 9 for the Grizzlies, plus goalkeepers for each side.
real tough spot here for Adams State. This is really going to challenge them and their poise. Let's see if they can bounce back and try to cut into this lead, or if at this point they're just happy to call it a game. I'm sure UCCS would, as much as they embrace that physicality, they certainly don't want any kind of injury to occur to their players or the Grizzlies for that matter. So might see a little bit of a de-escalation through the last 18 minutes with the game firmly in hand now for the Mountain Lions.
And just as you say that, you can see it looks like about 5 Mountain Lions are lining up at the center line to come in on the next sub opportunity.
Here's Savannah Mills with an opportunity deep. See if she can track this one in. She does. Great job to gain control there. The pass, and that shot right in the hands of Zager. Gorola setting things up there, looking to blast another one in, but Zager was there for an easy save.
And one of the themes that you've been talking about, MJ, are what the coaching staff will do in terms of trying to rest legs and avoid injuries the rest of the way. With these 4 subs, it looks like, that'll be coming in, I would expect that Savannah Mills, who is only in her 3rd game back, or 4th actually, after injury, and Elisa Muir would be 2 of my targeted players to give a rest for these final 15 minutes. We'll see if that's what materializes.
That's got to be a good feeling for the team, knowing that they can rest some of those legs at the end of our game here today. Because as we mentioned, the Mountain Lions with a tough stretch coming up. Their final 2 games on the road. Next weekend, they're going to travel to play Colorado School of Mines, another nationally ranked team, before concluding their final road game against Colorado Christian a week from today. They'll finish up the regular season at home against MSU Denver, Black Hill State, and then the final game, which will be broadcasted right here with UCCS Sports on November 3rd against Regis.
And that Regis game to end the season, I anticipate that is going to be an important match to establish the seedings for the RMAC tournament. Regis, by that point, would like to host a game, as would UCCS. If you finish in the top 4, you get to host your match, your first round match of the RMAC tournament.
Good job there by Zager to come out to meet that ball before Ramirez had an opportunity to send another one in.
And I
It's
think
a
because
line
it was
change
so
for
long,
UCCS.
I was just going to say, I think because it was so long between sub opportunities, UCCS, this looks like it might be 5 or 6 that came in on this one.
It's about half of the squad checking in or checking out now for UCCS.
So with so many subs, it's unfair to say, see, I predicted that Muir and Mills would come off because just about everybody came off.
Yeah.
But also coming off was Allie Samuels, one of the quarterbacks at the center back position. So she'll be fresh and ready for next week. Kate Esterly, who got the rest today, along with Ella Fisher. And also the leading the leading point getter for the Mountain Lions, Sinead Hopcroft. They were scheduled to rest the entire afternoon. So Esterly and Samuels will be ready to go at center back next week against the Ore Diggers.
With this game out of reach for the Grizzlies. I'm sure that's got to be part of the strategy now for Sean Hudson, is thinking about the fact that they got this game pretty much in the books. How can we start thinking about next weekend and the importance of continuing the undefeated streak? The Mount Lions, barring a miracle from the Grizzlies, should improve to 12-0 on the season and continue as the #1 ranked team in the nation. But arguably the toughest matchup of the season coming up in the next game on the schedule against the Ore Diggers of Colorado School of Mines.
And each week that the Mountain Lions are the #1 ranked team in the nation, they just add to their record. They have been in the #1 spot for 2 consecutive weeks, hoping to make it a third. The win here today, combined with the 5-0 win on Friday night, should keep them in. The national rankings come out on Tuesday. However, it's worth taking a look at what are those other teams in the top 5 in the nation doing. We talked about the fact that the West region will be hosting the Super Regional in the NCAA, and right now, the strength, nearly an opportunity there. Right now, the strength in Division II is considered in the West, as UCCS obviously on top of the national rankings, followed by UC San Diego out of the CCAA conference, part of the West region. So if this would stand, UC San Diego would stand to host the Super Regional. And then you have Grand Valley State out of the GLIAC, Flagler College out of the Peach Belt, and former national champion Central Missouri out of the Mid-America Intercollegiate Athletic Conference. That rounds out the top 5, and along with UCCS, everybody else in the top 5 nationally has won this weekend.
Just over 11 minutes remaining here from Mountain Lion Stadium. The Grizzlies had a good attack going on that last possession, and it looked like there was a little bit of contact on the far side, but not enough for the official to call a foul or blow the whistle. So UCCS with possession, up 6-1, and up a player after that red card was issued to Billingham earlier on in the half. Mount Lions looking to add to their lead right now.
And one of the things, MJ, to start keeping an eye on with the standings.
Shot is up, and good save there by Zager.
One of the things to keep an eye on in the standings, especially next weekend, but teams will start the process of clinching a playoff spot. After this win today, the Mountain Lions will be very close to that, and a few teams on the bottom of the table will start the risk of being out of contention for even gaining the top 8. And that's probably one of the things that we're seeing with the frustration with Adams State. Adams State came in with just one conference win. They were hoping to steal at least a point today and maybe get very fortunate and gain all 3. That's not going to happen, so they're going to leave Colorado Springs with just 3 points in the table.
Shot there by Lancaster, a little far right and into the hands of Zager. Just under 10 minutes remaining here in regulation.
And going into this weekend, there is quite a bottleneck for the 7th and 8th spots in the playoffs, with a lot of those teams playing each other this weekend. Colorado Christian is at Westminster. Both of those squads have 7 points, which right now is a tie for the 8th position. We actually have 4 teams with 7 points. So teams like School of Mines and the Mountain Lions are trying to put distance between themselves and the rest of the pack. And then when you get in the midsection of the conference, they're really trying to establish a foothold on a playoff position.
So as you mentioned, Doug, it's going to be UCCS and Colorado School of Mines firmly in the number 1 and 2 spots. And then great parity through the remainder of the RMAC as every team looking to make a push. Even these Grizzlies of Adams State still have an opportunity to make the playoffs, but they're going to have to bounce back next weekend and hope to get a couple of big victories if they have any shot of making a push. UCCS right now with their own destiny in their hands. If they can remain undefeated, the entire RMAC tournament should go right through Mountain Lion Stadium.
And the UCCS players will tell you, and in fact a couple of them shared with me before the game, they know of the strength of the RMAC, and every one of them claims there is no such thing as an easy match in the RMAC. And in addition, they also recognize that the target on their back is larger than usual, not just because they're in first place in the RMAC, but because of the number 1 national ranking. Other teams are out to get them, and the players feel it. And then that also gives the opposing coaches something to talk about in the locker room. I had the chance to talk to Coach Colin Baker of the Grizzlies before the match and talked a little bit about their preparation and what they're getting ready to go into. And he shared with me what a great opportunity it was in his first year to be able to be coaching this Grizzlies squad against the number 1 team in the nation, and what he characterized as probably the best coaching staff in the nation. We've talked about Coach Sean Hudson quite a bit this weekend, but we haven't mentioned her assistants and the depth of the coaching staff. Lindsay Balcone, the assistant coach, who was a standout player in Division I University of Cincinnati, and also on staff, the goalkeeper coach, Mike Archuleta, who is still in the record books on the UCCS men's side. So he works with this freshman Molly Swift and sophomore Lexi Walker. You also have Cole Oren on staff. You have former players, Hannah Levitt, and last year's RMAC goalkeeper of the year, Kaylin Farrell, who is the grad assistant. So a very deep, experienced staff with a lot of success behind them.
And hats off to the entire coaching staff. As we talked earlier, Doug, about the idea that this very well could be a trap game. If the Mountain Lions overlooked the Grizzlies, they could get themselves into trouble, anticipating next weekend's contest against Colorado School of Mines. But certainly that was not the case. They have not taken these Grizzlies lightly and have really gotten up for today's game. From the onset of action all the way through, UCCS has played to this point a complete 85 full minutes, looking to finish it off in the last 5 minutes of regulation.
Credit to the Grizzlies. They are not giving up a player down. They are still playing with fight and energy. That ball momentarily came dangerously across, but there was no Mountain Lion running on to pick up that loose ball.
Fortunately for Adams State, UCCS was far back. Otherwise, that could have been trouble for the Grizzlies, and the Mountain Lions might have been able to put up a 7th goal. But here this weekend, they have outscored their opponents 11-1, looking to add to that in the last 4 minutes of regulation as UCCS continues to pressure and continuing to look for another attack. That one's sent far out of play, though, by Garola. That one's heading into the parking lot.
And so for those fans that are doing some tailgating before the men's game, they just got a souvenir.
3.5 minutes now remains here from Mountain Lion Stadium. Ziegler puts that one back in play. I don't think Zager got quite the distance on there she was hoping. She was looking to set up an attack for the Grizzlies, but that one is cut off by UCCS. What a tough outing for Zager here today. She's done a great job, but the Mountain Lions have just continued to apply pressure the entire contest. And unfortunately for her, she's let 6 get behind her here today.
Fans may have noticed the last couple of minutes, Naomi Garola has been in on almost every attacking play. She has been playing with fierce determination. She's normally that type of player anyway, but I think she actually has an extra spring to her step. She was on the negative side of that foul that created the red card. And so I think she's trying to make a bit of a statement as we move toward the end of the match.
Crowd not quite happy with that last play. Can hear them chanting from the stands in dismay. Clock has stopped with 1:53 remaining in regulation.
And that was Gabby Lancaster, who was knocked over and went down. She's getting up slow. And she's being helped off of the field.
That's certainly the risk that you play at this juncture of the game, being up by 5 goals, but still a lot of physicality on the field. Last thing you want to see is any player from either team getting injured with the game this firmly in control. That ball blasted far out of play. And the Grizzlies are going to get at least one more opportunity to set something up to try to finish strong and add one more goal to the board.
The Grizzlies have done a good job. They have not conceded a goal since being down a player. And you're about to hear the PA call as we move into the final minute.
Just under 1 minute now remains in regulation as the final 45 seconds will tick away, and UCCS will come away with another victory here at Mountain Lion Stadium to improve to 12-0 on the season. And with their goal differential on the weekend of 11-1, that certainly puts them in prime position to keep their #1 national ranking. As you mentioned, Doug, those will come out on Tuesday, and UCCS is more than happy to keep that big target on their back, like you mentioned earlier. They'd love to continue to be #1 all throughout the season, with aspirations of hosting the RMAC tournament and the NCAA tournament as well.
And as that ball goes over the goal line, both teams content to just let the clock run out. And our final score, the Mountain Lions do improve to 12-0 on the season with that 6-1 decision over the Grizzlies.
And what a well-rounded game for UCCS, getting all kinds of players in on the action. There was no one dominating player for UCCS, but goals coming from 6 different Mountain Lions. Here this afternoon, so I'm sure Sean Hudson and the rest of the coaching staff have got to be feeling quite pleased with the overall performance from UCCS here today.
And 4 of the goals came off of set plays. Katie Pacino, she opened the scoring, and that was off of a corner kick. And then Sanders connected off of a penalty kick. Ramirez off of that interesting play toward the end of, or the middle of the second half, with the direct kick that scored, and UCCS had plenty of corner kicks. So all around, I think a good performance by the Mountain Lions. The one thing, obviously, that they're going to be concerned about is they wanted to walk out of here healthy. 2 players went off with injuries that look to need some additional attention. Freshman Caitlin Hinkle and also freshman Gabriella Lancaster. So we'll see how that materializes as the week progresses.
Well, a little bit of time between the next matchup, but I'm sure UCCS is going to get right back to work as they're going to be traveling to play Colorado School of Mines, who entered the weekend as the number 16th ranked team in the nation. Arguably the toughest matchup all season long for either one of those 2 teams, as UCCS will travel to Golden to play the Ore Diggers on Friday night before having their final road game of the season next Sunday as they play Colorado Christian. They'll be back to finish off the regular season at home with matchups against MSU Denver, against Black Hill State, and the final game of the regular season against Regis on November 3rd. And we'll have all the action for you on that day right here from UCCS Sports. This has been MJ Arjamandi alongside Doug Klein, broadcasting live from Mountain Lion Stadium as the UCCS women's soccer team remains undefeated, now 12-0, and they are the number 1 ranked team in the nation. We have one more matchup coming up as the UCCS men's soccer team will host Colorado Mesa. That game will kick off soon. But thank you all for joining us for our broadcast in game number 1. Thanks to the crew and everybody who makes this possible, and thank you for tuning in. We'll see you back next time for more UCCS Sports.